My name is Garrett and this is my land. This is where I've been for the last 6 months, living off the land, eating edibles. I'm a survivalist. This is my natural habitat right here. From the Amazon, from the Congo this year, I can go into any habitat and survive without a doubt for as long as I need to. The knowledge is right here. It's all I have in my hands. Let's do it. They don't call me Jaguar for nothing. I searched through the jungles of Belize, Panama, Peru, Brazil, tracking jaguars every night and day. They saw me more times than I saw them. Tracking the jaguar inevitably led me to seeing one. I saw one as I approached my own tent and my own campsite. Walking silently towards my tent, I see a sleeping jaguar 30 feet away. Male, 250 pounds. Sunshine everywhere, 2:30 in the afternoon. I said, "G'day, mate," to the jaguar sleeping. He didn't wake up. "G'day, mate." Jaguar flips around, his head wide open, eyes just blaring right into my head. I just say, "You're okay, mate. You're okay." He winks at me. I winked right back into his eye. He winked at me again, 3 winks. He got up slowly, turned into the bushes. That was it. A year of tracking the jaguar. That moment saved my life. I would have been in there forever, determined to see the jaguar. I went over and lied in the same spot as he did for the rest of the afternoon in pure bliss. Let's go to Brazil and find another jaguar. This is what we do in day-to-day life in the jungle. It's easy to come around and find animals when you're waiting in trees. To sit quietly, be ready for anything. Stay still, listen, wait 15 minutes for the animals to start moving about again. Every animal in the forest knows that I'm here right now. If I stay calm, birds, squirrels, even Sasquatch may approach. Sit down, become one with nature. Up in a tree is a great way to stay out of view from terrestrial animals walking below. They don't look up as often and they can't smell you as easy. I'd just like to tell you some stories now about jaguar and the relationship between man and the beasts that roam Central and South America. I stayed with several Central and South American tribes as I visited, telling me stories of jaguars from the Maya in Belize. They revere the jaguar as a god that travels into the underworld at night, battles the demons and rises up in the caves with the sun in the morning to reveal itself. The shamans will do ceremonies in order to invoke the power and the cunning of the jaguar, the king of the jungle that knows all other animals and watches everything. Capable of doing great deeds just by the presence of the jaguar and revealing itself to the village is an omen of good, an omen of things are taken care of, being watched, and everything is fine. The jaguar will also look over any bad deeds and destroy. The jaguar is not to be known as a man-eater. The Mayan will tell their stories how the jaguar came out of the jungle and would play with the children. As I searched through Belize, the jaguar would come and follow me through the night. Their footprints would be inside my own footprints the next day. I would lie in my tent and a jaguar would come over to my tent, put his 2 paw prints in the mud as I could clearly identify by then, smell my head. I look and gone, and the bushes were moving. This was constant in Belize. I went down to Panama and I stayed there for 9 months in the jungle with the Kuna Indians, the Embra Indians, and the Wanan Indians. Some of these tribes deep into the Darien, including the Wanan, had never seen a white man before. I hiked 12 hours on following horseback led by an Indian man with tattoos and just threw me sugarcane. We got to this one tribe, 30 kids, 15 adults all approached me saying, "Jesus." Jesus. I said, no, you don't know Jesus. Mi nombre is Jaguar. I'm here to be with the jaguar. And they showed me several pelts that they had on their walls. And they gave me teeth of jaguar. They told me their legends of jaguar in the Darien. This is where the road doesn't connect North and South America due to the cocaine industry and the Colombians. I could see Colombia from this village. I left there only to go to the Amazon. I went down to the Amazonian tributaries, and there's native Indians on the banks. I'd stop and say hello to them, but they didn't speak any English. I traveled out of the Amazon and down to the Pantanal, where the jaguars grow the largest and biggest. 350 pounds of solid muscle. These jaguars cover the land. Anacondas everywhere. This place is filled with wildlife. The jaguars there are farther spread out than in the other jungles of Central America, larger home territories. There, the native people all admire the jaguar. Anywhere people and jaguars cohabitate, the admiration for the jaguar is the highest in their culture for any animals. 2, 1. Let's do this! Woo! Woo! Come on! I went down to the Amazon by myself and I got a little dugout wooden boat. Adventured through the Amazon for 2 weeks alone. Only brought apples and bread and water. I just paddled downstream and you could see many scarlet macaws, red and blue macaws, monkeys. Other cats in there are jaguarundis, ocelot, puma, and giant, this isn't a cat, giant otter.
Did you have any dangerous encounters?
Every day.
Like what?
Caimans would come over to my boat and show me their back arch and say, this is my territory. I'd go back into the lagoons and they'd say, get out of my pond, and they'd threaten me. They'd jump out of the water and splash all over me. Anacondas come right near my tent. 10-foot anaconda.
Could they have squeezed your tent?
They could have, but you gotta get away. You just keep them close, you know? You make friends with them, right?
Yeah.
When I saw that anaconda, I went over and I grabbed him by the tail. And he spun around, curled up and looked at me, and I just got close and looked at him. What
about crocodiles?
Crocodiles, that's the caiman crocodile. 6 feet long. There's black caiman and there's spectacled caiman. Black caimans are 18 feet long sometimes. The spectacles are only 6 to 8 feet long. I see those all the time. I actually put my tent right next to 30 caiman one night because that was the only patch of land left because it was all swamp.
And then nobody came up to eat you?
Nah, they're my friends. It's simple.
Tell me about the bears in Montana.
I used to live in Montana and I had black bears come over to me this far away, me and you, and I looked right into their eyes, not afraid of any black bear. They're just friends. I call them Deuce. There's 7 individuals that would approach and be my friends at my cabin. I would go to Alaska and I'd track grizzly bear. I found a grizzly bear that had killed a fresh moose calf 30 feet away and I just watched him eating. I went to Canada and saw a polar bear. I filmed him. These are just my hobbies. Animals are my passion in my life, and I go to any extent, any continent to find them. And especially the rare species that need our help, like the Siberian tiger, or even the extinct Tasmanian tiger. That's a marsupial down in Tasmania. These animals I've all searched for, except for the Siberian tiger, which is a dream, soon to be. And it's just such a wonderful life that we live on this planet.
Did you ever meet Steve Irwin?
I've met Steve Irwin, of course. Steve Irwin was my idol growing up as a kid, and I went to Australia just to meet him. I went to his zoo to say hello. I went over and I wanted to tell him that I've been down in Tasmania looking for thylacines, as I knew he believed in thylacines himself, and there's controversy over if Steve ever had evidence of the thylacine, filming it.
Are they believed to be extinct?
Since 1936,
okay.
The last thylacine was in the Hobart Zoo, but several sightings have been found during the night when cars pass by and the headlights shine on their eyes at 4 o'clock in the morning. Best way to see them.
So you've met him?
I've met Steve Irwin. He's a great man. He's a mate of mine.
Yeah.
Steve Irwin. Crikey, mate! Let's get into it.